Okay, we'll get started. First day of voluntary veteran minicamp, right? It was a great day. We get this extra week, this extra opportunity to get together. We just talked as a team. This is an important week, right? We get a chance to get out on the field, get an extra week out there, get our bodies moving, get to install our schemes, get to see the players on the field, doing their thing. So good day today. Also, obviously, I know everybody saw the article on Brian Burns, but since I haven't had a chance to talk to you guys yet, just from our standpoint, very, excited that he was able to get this done, excited about the prognosis, full and complete recovery, should be ready by training camp. So, it was the right thing at the right time, get this thing squared away and get on the right, get that thing back 100%. So he'll be ready to go by training camp. So I'll open it up from there.
I know it was exciting for you to just be back on the field with the guys. Just talk about that.
No doubt. You get in the meeting room and it's good. You're installing systems. You're talking about what the vision for what we're going to do on defense, in special teams, and in offense. You put it up there on the screen. You can show video on it, but there's nothing like getting on the field and doing it and being able to talk through it with the guys. So it was a good start today.
What's on your checklist in terms of what you wanted to accomplish during minicamp?
Several things. We always kind of list the objectives, and one of those is a big part of it is work on fundamentals and technique. You can't emphasize that enough. Huge emphasis for our team, right? We got to build the habits now, build the fundamentals and technique now. That's a foundation, right? So we got a new coaching staff, right? So some of the fundamentals and technique are all the same. They're the same things, but it doesn't matter. We all need to kind of keep going over the basics. And the reason is, we talk about that is, because when you get on the field, you can't think about that stuff. You got to play loose and free. So we got to establish those habits now. So that was a big deal.
Frank, you got that extra week, and you had close to full attendance. I think one or two players is unaccounted for. How important is that to starting off your mission for the season?
Yeah, it shows the quality of players. It shows, their buy-in. It shows that, they understand the opportunity before us. That's what we have. We have an opportunity, and as coaches and players, and as a team, it's up to us to make the most of it. I think it also shows trust between players and coaches. We're not trying to kill the guys right now. We're trying to get better. We're trying to get our systems installed. We're trying to gain a foundation for what we want to do during the season. So it's good to have most of the guys here.
In terms of installing new systems for guys like outside linebackers, defensive linemen, going from a 4-3 to a 4-3-4, how is this week kind of beneficial in that transition of kind of introducing them to new stuff?
Yeah, it's really beneficial, and it's a big deal. It's a big transition. It's a big transition, and particularly for a couple guys like Yator, him moving to outside linebacker, and others. So. I think EJ and his staff are doing a great job of kind of cutting it piece by piece, so that if I'm a player, I can kind of hear it broken down piece by piece, and then we kind of put it all together. I think EJ's done a great job of that, and this defensive staff. So, and as players, right, these guys have been playing their whole lives. So my experience with this is there's always an element of excitement to learning a new system, to seeing how I can stretch myself as a player and grow as a player. So I think that opportunity is there for them.
Frank, obviously you welcome the veterans in today, but you have a new rookie class you're going to welcome in a few days. How much of the offense can you frame around potentially a rookie quarterback at this stage?
A lot, because it's a new offense, so really it's new to the whole team. It's not just going to be new to the rookie quarterback. So we're all kind of starting from the ground floor up, and really the vets get a couple weeks ahead of the rookies, but they'll come in and catch up quickly.
Frank, last week Scott said that he hadn't asked you who you prefer as that number one pick, didn't want to. Has he asked you yet, and have you guys talked about that, and have you come to a consensus yet?
He did. He actually came in my office yesterday at some point and asked the question. It's kind of like a proposal of sorts, but and I said yes. No, there is consensus, and we're excited.
Who is it?
We'll announce that Thursday at about 8 o'clock.
You said with this first overall pick, you guys didn't have to play games. How now having that consensus, how much easier was that than maybe in 2016 when you guys were trying to figure stuff out and didn't have your pick?
Yeah, I mean, I think the process was really first class. You know, Scott handled it perfectly. The scouts were amazing. You know, they really helped us as coaches, helped us frame some things, frame some questions. You know, we all went into the thing with ideas, inclinations, stay true to the process. You know, there's ebbs and flows during the process, right? There's like, ooh, you know, I mean, is there any change I wouldn't say there's any drastic change of mind, but there's ebbs and flows of how much you like a guy. And that's why you have to resist the temptation to make your mind up too early, right? So I thought we as scouting staff and coaches did a good job of not falling into that trap. Just take it for what it is. Take it day by day. Go on these visits, watch tape, go through the process, continue to evaluate and talk it through.
At what point did you feel like you knew who the guy was?
You know, I think we all had inclinations early on. Again, not to totally repeat everything I just said, but I just think the conviction built gradually. The conviction built gradually for us as coaches because the scouts were ahead of us, right? I mean, the scouts were ahead of us. They had already done all their work. So as coaches, as we dug in, our conviction started to build slowly but surely.
Right now that you guys know who's going to be the number one pick, how much time have you already started to spend on the picks after that and what you guys can do to either move up or move back?
A lot of time. And again, I just take my hat off to Scott and his staff and how that process has gone. You know, we've had several draft meetings with the coaches, but more recently, you know, had them in there. Scott kind of running the meetings, you know, getting the coach's final opinion, right? The scouts have already done, you know, 90% of the work, but the coaches kind of come in and we give our evaluation. We meld it together with what the scouts have done. You know, we start wrapping our mind around that 39th pick, you know, and around that 93rd pick, and, you know, about all the scenarios, up, down, stay there. What if he's there? What if he's not there? What should we, you know, how does this guy fit? Hey, tell us again how this guy fits into the system, right? Into the scheme. They've been dynamic discussions, and I think we're prepared for those scenarios.
Frank, following off of that, have you had any conversation with the front office about maybe using this veteran minicamp as like a way to get any sort of last-minute tiebreakers on some of those picks?
Not really. You know, it's just a fair question, but not really. It's just more been, you know, this mini camp, just more kind of a methodical next step process. Okay, thank you.